everybody, this is Nancy of Paper Moon Tarot, and I wanted to do a challenge, a tag, Tarot on Vacation, and hope that all of you respond to this, let me know your thoughts and ideas, and have fun with it. So this is sort of like my Tarot on the Menu and Tarot at the Movies. The idea is, what tarot decks would you take with you on vacation to different destinations? And I've got about 7 places to go, and for you to find a deck to match that. Obviously we all want to take decks that are portable, easy to take with us. That's not really the criteria I used here. I chose decks that reminded me of the theme of the vacation. So I'm going to start with the tropical beach vacation, and for that one I'm going with an oracle deck, which is the Salt and Sea Energy Oracle, and this is by Rachel Rubino, and it's a cute little indie deck that I got that I just have to get open. Come on, box, come on, you can do it. Okay, see, this is why you should always open the boxes before you do the review of decks, so you don't spend all your time looking like an idiot like this. Okay, so it's it's open. And it's, okay, I have to find my light here. It's got a colorful interior. The cards are very nice stock, nice thick stock. The backs are very pretty. And there are kind of 2 kinds of cards in here. Some have this simple, borderless, and the bottom like that, and some have this little driftwoody background with the fronds on it. But they have all things that have to do with the shore, with the beach, and really pretty images. So it's just a nice soft deck. This is the sand dollar, and the little saying down here is prosperity's within reach, which is great because I need it. Fish, and again, a soft blue palette. I like this one, sea glass. Isn't that pretty? So this oracle deck just reminds me of a beach vacation. Now if I had to choose a place to go by the beach, I think it would be Bermuda. I went there on a cruise once when I lived on the east coast of the United States. And it was the first cruise I ever went on, and I'm not a big cruise fan. It was in the Atlantic in October, and it was their last crossing of the year. And I remember thinking I was going to die, and we were going to end up tipping over. It was going to be the Poseidon Adventure all over again, and the crew, as we were leaving at the end of the cruise, said it was the worst crossing they'd ever had. But Bermuda is very beautiful, and it's got that British flavor to it with pubs and so forth. So it's a bit a foreign feeling beach. It's a fun place to go. So that is the Salt and Sea Energy deck for the tropical beach vacation. Okay, the next one I have is going to be a mountain nature vacation, and for that one I chose the Brady Tarot, which has this beautiful box, and the destination I was thinking of was the Grand Tetons in the United States, in Wyoming, and I've been there once with my husband. It's absolutely beautiful place, and this deck is all nature-based. The creator, Emmy Brady, is in Colorado, so kind of similar in some ways to the land in Wyoming, out west in the US. And beautiful animal deck, but a lot of nature, a lot of trees and so forth in this deck. So it just reminds me, with the beautiful woodcut look to it, of the outdoors, the mountains, hiking. I'm not the world's best hiker, but I do walk about 6 miles a day, so I can go for a 3-hour hike and survive, but I do require a good meal and a glass of wine at the end of the hike. So that's the Brady Tarot for my mountain nature hike. The next one is a theme park, and that can be an amusement park, a water park, a Disneyland, Disney World type park. And the deck that I chose for this is the Dame Darcy Queen Alice Tarot, because I would go to Disneyland, and Alice in Wonderland always reminds me of Disney and the Disney's movie of Alice in Wonderland, all the kind of fantastical stuff that goes on in Alice in Wonderland. And the Disneyland I'd go to would be in Tokyo. When I moved to Japan and lived there for about 1.5 years in my 20s, I stayed with a few friends in Tokyo, and it was just before they were going to open up Disneyland Tokyo. And one of my friends knew someone who could give me a number of someone to call to ask if I could get a job at Disneyland Tokyo. So I did, because I was just there trying to figure out what to do and teach English or something else, and I heard Disneyland, I could work at Disneyland, that would be cool. And so I called the person, and they were opening in a few months. And they said, well, do you speak Japanese? And I said, no, but I've got a few months. Like an idiot. It takes like years to learn Japanese. So I didn't get a job at Disneyland Tokyo. But I did think that it would be a fun place to visit, and my Dame Darcy, Queen Alice, reminds me of all those great Disney movies and animations and characters. So that's the deck I'd take with me. Okay, the next one would be a cultural vacation. If you wanted to go to a music festival or a play festival or something like that. And what I chose for that is the Shakespeare Tarot, which I just got recently. And this is the box, the cover of the box. It is a deck from a creator in Canada. Big deck, big cards, and this kind of folio book backs to them, which is kind of cool. And the cards are in this orientation, so they're a little different. And they are actually wonderful cards. Let me hold them closer. There's a lot going on in each one. They're a collage style deck. And, obviously they're going to tell you which card this is and which play this card relates to. But it's a very interesting deck. It's got tons going on. And it has quotes from the plays going around the borders. So if you are at all into theater or Shakespeare, look at that. There's so much going on, and that's the Empress card. And it's like all the pieces of female characters from the plays representing the Empress. So I would go to a Shakespeare Festival. It could be something like in the United States in Ashland, Oregon, which is not far from me. There is a Shakespeare Theater, or it could be Stratford-on-Avon in England, which I've been to once, but I would go again. It's a little touristy, and Shakespeare, whoever the real Shakespeare was, probably wasn't from there. But I love England, so I'll go there. So that's the Shakespeare Tarot for my theater festival vacation, my cultural vacation. That was a hard one because I'd love to go to music festivals, film festivals, theater, whatever. Okay, the next one would be an adventure vacation. And for that, I chose a country that fascinates me that I've never been to, which is Africa. And I chose the Dust to Onyx deck because it has these wonderful images of African culture, African people, tribal looking art. And the art is just phenomenal in this deck. The cardstock is wonderful, the presentation, the packaging, everything about this deck is wonderful. This is the backs of the cards. So if you don't have the Dust to Onyx, I highly recommend it. And you'll see, obviously, the influence of African culture. It is an American artist. I think she lives in Indiana at this point. But this is all African heritage, African culture, and just beautiful images, beautiful artwork. So I'm not sure exactly where in Africa I'd go. I probably should have figured that out, huh? Kenya? Someplace like that? But obviously it's a continent, so there's a lot of different countries to visit. But if I wanted to go on safari, see animals, not hunting them, obviously, it might be someplace like Kenya. But this is just beautiful art. I love this deck. Okay, so that's my adventure. I'm going to Africa. And this little deck will fit great. It'll pack great for me to take with me and show people in Africa what American artists thinks of African art. Okay, let's see. Next is an educational vacation. And for that, I chose something that would have to do with history, going on some sort of tour somewhere where I studied different sites and went to museums and learned about history. The deck that I pulled out for that is the Templar Tarot, and it's by Stephen Defoe wrote it, and the art is by Alan Chester. Now, the Templar Tarot is kind of a cool tarot. The art is very interesting. I will say that the Knights Templar, the Crusades, the colonization that went on, those are not my thing. But I do like history. I love history, so learning something about them, the symbolism of the Templars, the culture at the time. I think they started around the 1100s, went to the 1300s or so. They basically kind of took over a lot of financial operations in Europe and the Middle East, in the Holy Land. And again, a lot of the things they did were not things to respect at all, but this deck is really cool. It's got some very interesting, colorful art, very interesting symbolism going on. The book that comes with it is quite well researched as well. So if you do want to learn about this period of history and these people, then this would be a good one. I thought that maybe I could go to Cyprus to learn about them because they ruled Cyprus for a while. And I don't want to go to Jerusalem, not right now. So Cyprus sounded like a better vacation spot to me, and I could study up some of the things that went on over a few hundred years with the Knights Templar in a region like that. So this is a cool tarot deck. It's very thick cardstock, very interesting art. So that is the Templar Tarot for my vacation in Cyprus to learn a little bit about history. Okay, the last category I have is going on a haunted vacation, going somewhere where there's a haunted hotel or some kind of paranormal ghost hunting or something like that. I'm kind of into ghost hunter type things. It's fascinating. So I would go to the Stanley Hotel in Colorado, which is where Stephen King's book, The Shining, was set, and where I believe it was also filmed. And if you've seen The Shining, you know it would be a great haunted vacation, paranormal ghost tour type thing. The deck that I chose to represent that, to bring along on my haunted vacation, is called the Crooked Way Tarot. It's by Doug Thornsjoe at Duck Soup Productions. And These are the backs of the cards. They're really, I think you can choose different backs for this deck. But every card, this card is Uncle Edgar, the Eight of Skulls. Every card, it's Edgar Allan Poe, has sort of a family member from this very odd family. It's sort of like the Addams family. This is Cousin Margot, the Knight of Sticks. So obviously sticks is going to be probably wands. I didn't use the deck a little bit, I have to remember. But a pretty spooky deck. This is the Hand of Gehemency, the Ace of Pentacles. Very weird deck, very fun. This is Uncle Mordred, the Illusionist. So I guess this is our magician. And the Hermit is Grand Uncle Kronos. It's a cool deck. It's a fun deck. Bring it out at Halloween or on your haunted vacation. So those are my categories. I'll list them down below, and I'd love to hear what decks you would take in each of these categories of vacation. Obviously, you can choose a different destination within each category. But I'd love to know where you would go, what deck you would take with you, and why. And I can't wait to see your responses to this tag. And you guys take care. Have a good day. Bye.